You're gonna start to gain confidence because you're gonna see the progress. We improve our pronunciation, okay? When I was learning English with House of Cards, then when I was learning English with The Crown, I'm on my way to exhibition right now. People and the culture make you wanna use language, you know? I love her so much. Or Billie Eilish, or Casey Neistat, YouTubers, or creators. You can learn words by memorizing them. Really appeal? I will appeal to you, Hugo. I love Camilleri. You need to learn words in a way that you never forget their meanings. You're able to use them. When you want to speak, they come out of your mouth automatically. What's up, guys? Today we have a very busy day ahead of us. First of all, I'm gonna practice English today for like 2 or 3 hours. And while I'm practicing English, I'm gonna share some of the important words with you guys and some of the tips and tricks with you guys. After that, I'm going to an exhibition today. One of my students is painter, artist. She's a figurative artist. So basically, she's having an exhibition today, and I'm gonna go to opening of this exhibition, guys, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. After getting back home, I'm gonna do shadowing with Avrey and then edit my videos, and this is how we're gonna complete the day, okay? Anyways, let's get started, okay? You know what? Watching the people that you love make you want to speak English all the time. When I watch people that I genuinely love, I always want to speak English, you know? I always get this feeling, oh, I need to speak English, as if I'm going to be able to talk to them, you know? You don't know this about me, guys, but I used to hate English so bad. English was my least favorite language in the world. I always hated English. I had no motivation, no desire to learn English. After starting watching Friends and watching things that I love, watching people that I love, you know, my favorite artists, you know, creators, you know, producers, directors, actors, that made me wanna speak English. People and the culture make you wanna use language, you know. I get a desire to learn English when I watch the people that I love. I watch Lana Del Rey, okay? I love her so much. I watch Cage the Elephant, or Billie Eilish, or Casey Neistat, YouTubers, or, you know, other YouTubers, creators, you know, actors, actresses, and that made me wanna speak English all the time, okay? My goal is to normally study every single day 3 hours and 30 minutes, but today this is not going to be realistic because I'm going to be going to exhibition tonight and I don't have enough time. Also, I'm filming this video and also I'm going to have to edit this video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice with that for like first 50 minutes and then I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to keep practicing for like another 50 minutes or an hour, okay? Really appeal? I will appeal to you, Hugo. I will appeal to you, Hugo. Okay, I want to stop practicing and I'm gonna talk to you guys directly because this is very important. In English, you can learn words by memorizing them because most of the words have a lot of different meanings. For instance, appeal has a lot of different meanings in English.
Yes, I'll appeal to you.
I want to mention 2 of them in this video. The first thing is, in this context, appeal means really appeal. When someone says really appeal, it refers to a legal term. Okay, it's a legal term. Let's say someone's suing you and they won the case and you lost the case and you don't accept the decision. You don't accept the decision of the court, okay? You think that it's not fair. I'm not guilty. I'm not convicted. I'm not in the wrong, okay? I am right. I don't accept the decisions of the court. It's not fair. And if you think that way, if you don't accept the court's decision, you take this decision to the higher court, Supreme Court, okay? This exact situation happens in Johnny Depp's case. For instance, last year, Amber Heard lost the case against Johnny Depp. And if she doesn't accept the court's decision, she can appeal, okay? She can very well be like, okay, I don't accept the decisions of the court, this is not fair, and I'm gonna appeal. That means you're gonna take this to the higher court, Supreme Court. That was the first meaning of this appeal, okay? It's an legal term in this context. The second meaning of appeal, which we use in our lives many times, let's say if you find something attractive, beautiful, you know, charming, and that catches your eye, that catches your attention, you can say, oh, this is so appealing. That means you're attracted to that thing, okay? This thing catches your eye, catches your attention. For instance, you can say this for a person, you know, she's so appealing, he's so appealing, okay? For instance, I love Camilla, okay? For me, personally, in my opinion, she is a very appealing person for me, okay? She catches my eye, I find her so cool, the way she speaks. She's kind of like a very laid-back type of person, and I like her. And I can say, oh, she's so appealing. That means I'm attracted to her, okay? She gets my attention. For instance, okay, look at that, guys. What I like about this, canvas is the colors, okay? These colors are so appealing. That means it catches my eye. It's very, interesting and beautiful. Appealing is all about being attracted to someone or something. Anyways, let's get back to the practicing, okay?
What is it? Media event of the year.
Don't try to play it down, Mikael. It won't work.
Don't try and play it up. That won't work either.
Play it up. Don't try to play it up. Don't try to play it down, Mikael. It won't work either. Don't try to play it up. Don't try to play it down. It won't work either. Okay. There is this another very important word. Play it down. Okay. Let's play a little game, okay? Here's a question for you guys. What comes to your mind when I say play it down and play it up? Try to guess its meaning before I explain it, and comment down below if you got it right, okay? And also, side note, guys, I had no idea what it meant, okay? So I didn't get it right. Up until today, I didn't know this word's meaning, play it down. I never seen this word so far, and this was the first time that I learned the meaning of play it down. If you say play it down, that means you make something seem less important. For instance, let's say there's an very important exam that you have to take, okay? And you have to pass this exam. You take this exam, but you fail this exam, okay? And your family, your friends are like, how did it go? How was your exam? And you're like, oh, I failed. And they're like, oh, that must have been terrible for you, okay? Oh, you make it seem like, that wasn't that important, okay? There's this another exam, I'll take this exam. It wasn't that much important, So you make it seem like less important. If you play it up, it's vice versa. You make something seem like very important. You exaggerate, okay? You make it seem like, oh, it's a big deal, okay? It's very important, even though it's not important.
There's really no greater disgrace for journalists than libel.
There is really no greater disgrace for a journalist than libel. Dude, I'm begging you guys, please pay attention to that word very carefully. Libel. Up until today, I didn't know what libel meant. I had no idea what libel meant. And with this script, I learned the meaning of libel. Let's say you're an author or, journalist. You're writing an article about someone, or you're publishing an article about someone, or you post something on social media about someone that is famous. But this article that you write is not true, is not accurate, is a lie. And the reason why you write this is because you want to get attention by writing this fake news about this person, and also you want to hurt this reputation's fame. Basically, it's saying that Emma Chamberlain is selling her DMs for $10,000. That's a fake news, but still, it hurts Emma Chamberlain's reputation, because you see this on the internet, on social media, everywhere. Emma Chamberlain is selling her DMs for $10,000. Basically, this is what we call libel. Now that leads me to another very important word, malicious.
I don't know why malicious intent couldn't be proven.
Now, what is malicious intent? If you're a malicious person, if your intention is malicious, that means you deliberately, on purpose, try to harm this person. Your intention is to harm this person, whether that's her reputation or well-being, okay?
Before we begin, let's discuss what character assassination is. It is the malicious and unjustified harming of a person's good reputation.
If you do something in order to hurt people, in order to harm people, we say you have a malicious intent. I'm on a 15 minutes break here, and I want to say a few things while I'm on a break. While you're practicing, you're going to come across very basic lines. For instance, there's this line here, can I get that sandwich there? Can I get that sandwich there? It's a very basic line, you know what it means. But these lines are way important than complicated lines. Because the reason why, when it comes to our daily life, you're going to grocery store, or you're going to supermarkets and you're like, okay, can I get that sandwich there? You want to say that, okay? Sometimes you might find yourself in a situation where even this basic sentence doesn't come out of your mouth all at once, you know? Or you get excited or you get hyped up. I always find it so important to work on the most basic lines, okay? Where have you been? Even asking this question like, where have you been? Where were you? It's very important to work on those lines. I want to show you how I paid attention to the most basic lines when I was learning English. Now look at that, guys, okay? This is the line from the girl with dragon tattoo. Where have you been? Right? I mean, this is the line that I repeated today.
Where have you been?
Walking.
Now it's very simple, very basic. We all know what it means, right? But when I say this line, I directly remember my old studies from 4 years ago. Or when I was learning English with House of Cards, I was repeating this line again and again. Look at it, guys. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
When I was learning English with House of Cards, I was like, okay, Arsene, this is a situation where I can say, where have you been, okay? And I made sure that it was deeply ingrained in my brain, okay? Then when I was learning English with The Crown, I came across another very similar situation. Look at it, guys. Where were you?
Where were you today?
Now my point is, I paid attention to do even the most basic and simple line, okay? Even though I knew, obviously, you know, I knew their meanings and they were like so easy. I didn't skip these notes and I didn't skip these lines very easily, being like, oh, they are so easy, you know, I don't need to pay attention to those lines, okay? They're like very simple, very easy, okay? The second thing that I want to say here is, for instance, today I only work on the first 10 minutes of this episode and I share some of the important words from this first 10 minutes, okay? Because I always study, I always work on the 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 10 minutes of the episode every single day. Depends on the movie, depends on the TV show that I am working with, but it's always important to focus on these little parts. Another thing is, the first time you start to work on those scripts, like the first time you try to repeat their lines, you're gonna struggle so bad. The second time, the third time, when you go over them again and again, for instance, I finished the first 10 minutes of this episode, but still I have another an hour to go, okay? I have another an hour to work on this. I'm gonna start all over again from the very beginning of this episode, and I'm gonna work on this 10 minutes of this episode one more time. When you work on those lines again and again, the second time, the third time, it gets always easier. And you're gonna start to gain confidence because you're gonna see the progress. You're gonna feel like, okay, you know, I say this better, and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm getting good at it. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna watch this interview from Lana Del Rey and have my coffee for like 15 minutes, and then we're back to it. I mean, it's not like Elvis Presley, but there is something familiar about the name. I'm on my way to exhibition right now. Now we're back to our shadowing.
I always keep sunglasses in my car. They took 2 pairs. One pair was just...
I always keep the sunglasses in my car. I always keep the sunglasses in my car. I always keep the sunglasses in my car.
They took 2 pairs. 1 pair was just out on the concrete.
They took 2 pairs. 1 pair was out on the concrete.
My vaccination card was on the concrete. Thank God.
My vaccination card was on the concrete. Thank God they did not take that because
You need to show proof of vaccination to get into the Harry concert.
you need to show proof of vaccination to get into Harry concert.
This is the camera that I was talking about. She's safe and sound.
Okay, this is the camera that I was talking about. She's safe and sound. Guys, I really like this expression. She's safe and sound. Safe and sound, that means, you know, let's say you managed to save something without getting damaged or unharmed, you know.
It's just really scary to think about like such a big invasion of privacy of someone like breaking into your car in the middle of the night.
It's just scary to think about such a big invasion of privacy of, you know, someone getting into your car in the middle of the night. Okay guys, now I'm gonna end the shadowing here because it's been 40 minutes and I did the shadowing and I did everything I had to do today, so that kind of makes me feel good. Every single day practicing is very important, and while I'm practicing, I always learn new words, and then I get the opportunity to incorporate every single word into my speech. For instance, today I talked about malicious intent, we talked about libel, we talked about play down, you know, what else? We talked about appeal, okay? Not only we learn about their meanings, but also we're able to use those words. We improve our pronunciation, okay? I know how to pronounce appeal. I know how to pronounce, you know, libel. I learned their pronunciation. I'm able to remember the situations where I can use them because I know the context, I know the story. And the third thing is, I know the sentences, you know, journalist and libel. They are, you know, all together. They're in the same context. It doesn't matter how many words you learn a day. The most important thing, you need to learn words in a way that you never forget their meanings. You're able to use them when you want to speak. They come out of your mouth automatically. This is what we do, okay?